Here we go. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. What a pleasure it is to see all of you here. I see some familiar faces. Hello, Bruno. Hello, Rachel, Abbas, Az, Kathy, Habib, Haris, all of you. And I see some new faces. What a pleasure it is. My name is Saqib Rasool. I am the founder and chairman of Rasool Ventures. Before this, I've had a career in technology. I have built some startups. I have sold some startups. I built a startup incubator, and I now help changemakers develop themselves for bringing important changes in the world. With me, I have Victoria Roilas, my co-host. Victoria, please say hi. I have Maria Ali from my team, and I have Yash Kumar Biz. Where are you, Yash?
Hi, everyone.
And we have prepared quite a program for you. Thank you for taking time. Thank you for being with us. Hello, Sabir.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So we promise that today you will have at least one important insight about your work, about your world. And we promise that you will have fun. And if you don't, you can talk to my lawyer, and then good luck. Okay, let's get started. So let us begin. What are we doing? Let me say a little bit first, share a little bit about what we are up to here. Excuse me, what we're up to here. And then I would like to hear from each one of you. At the Club of Alchemists, we are creating a space for changemakers, for people that want to make a serious difference with their work, that want to prepare themselves for bigger challenges and opportunities. Essentially, in creating this club, I found that there is an enormous amounts of information and digital archives, and you can search Google all day about power, innovation, self-transformation, and so on. But there is a sheer lack of communities with the practices and rigor to aid in the practices. You see, information without action is useless. So to help people develop practices and habits for building a life of power, we have created the Club of Alchemists. Here, changemakers from all walks of life, of all ages, have the chance to develop habits, skills, and develop networks of trust for producing magical results in your lives and careers. You see, our success in this life, in this new era, depends on our resilient habits and new networks of trust. When you join the Club of Alchemists, you join a culture of self-transformation, meditation, philosophy, entrepreneurship, and really taking action towards building new worlds. You become a part of a kind of a new family of mutual care. So let's see what else I want to say. You see the program of building some of you are interested in. Let me see quick show of hands. How many of you are building your own enterprises or have your own startups here? Some of you. Yeah, very good. Hello, Harsh. So you see the program of building a powerful enterprise or career must begin with the program of building a powerful self. We are what we repeatedly do. Our habits constitute the fabric of our future. We have found there is so much information about building good habits, but there is no community where these habits could be cultivated, where people could come together and practice the things that makes us successful and satisfied with our careers and lives. The challenges, the COVID challenges and other challenges of our present era, they're confronting us and inviting us to come together, prepare ourselves, and participate in the design of our futures. So to help changemakers develop practices and moods for building a life of power, we have created this club. Here, people from all walks of life, of all ages, have the chance to develop the habits, number one, skills, number two, and networks, number three, for producing the results that you want to produce in the projects that you're up to. As a member of the Club of Alchemists, you will also have access to a network of like-minded changemakers, a private library of hand-selected books, none of that bestseller riffraff. We go through lots of books, and we will bring to you a particular kind of philosophy and particular kind of authors and voices that will help you in developing a new mood for the future. And you will have access to 24/7 live conversational channel where you can connect with me, probably not 24/7. I also sleep, but with other change makers from across the globe and so on. This is a one-of-a-kind program for change makers who want to create a life of joy and power and develop themselves for leadership, innovation, and entrepreneurship. We are very pleased that you're here. That's enough about us. Let me listen to each of you a little bit. We had, 3 questions that we want to ask you. Victoria, you want to put 3 questions in the chat?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Number 1, what was the first question? What's your name?
What's your name?
Where are you in the world?
Mm-hmm.
What is your professional background?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, being a homemaker is a profession. And no, binge watching Netflix is not a profession. And number 4, what concerns do you have? What concerns, what brought you here today? What concerns you have? What's your top concern at the moment in your life? What are you up to? We would love to hear a little bit from each of you. I will ask my special guest, Bruno Alabizo, to go at the end, and we will then also interact with Bruno. I'll introduce you more. We have a very special person with us today, my dear friend, and actually several of you that are my dear friends and special guests here. We will ask Bruno to go at the end. Why don't we begin with Habib, please?
Hi, everybody. My name is Habib, and I live in Germany. I work as a software engineer here in a German company, and the main concern of the company is to automate machines. Why I came here? So basically, I am also a part of a power course with Saqib Rasool and with Rasool Venture, and it's been 3 months, and I have felt huge changes in my life, and it has really improved my life. And now I am very excited to further to join this Club of Alchemists, where we will have habits every day, where we will come together, practice meditation, philosophical conversations, and basically improving ourselves. So I am very excited, and my concern basically is to progress in my career and to become an innovator. And I have already seen changes in myself, how I can approach my conversation with my teammates, how I can improve my relationships, and how can I bring more innovation to the workplace. And I want to further become part of Rasool Venture culture and to inculcate these habits in my life and move ahead in my life. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Habib. Habib, what he didn't say, Habib is a big AI engineer. He works on those big, huge, enormous construction machines that build bridges and massive constructions. And Habib works on the AI programming for these machines, a German-trained engineer. Thank you, Habib. Pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you.
Okay, let us go to Rachel. Rachel, are you with us? Do we see your gorgeous face? There you are. Unmute yourself, please.
Still have not remembered how to unmute myself. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rahel Waldo. My career background is education and human service. My concern is, or what I'm about, is I believe I am here to be a voice for voiceless and stand for what's right in any area and opportunity I have. My concern is how to engage in the right place at the right time to make impacts in people's life.
Very good. Thank you, Rachel. Humble as always. Rachel is a senior director at a local technical college where she helps young people shape and map their futures. And what a pleasure it is to have you with us today.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Good to hear.
Okay, let us go to Abbas, please. Abbas is a treasured new friend, a fellow alchemist. Actually, you know what? I'll let Abbas do Abbas's introduction. Please, Abbas.
There's a couple of Abbases here. You mean the
No,
illustrious
that's you.
AZ?
That's you. That is you. That is with
Okay, that's not a boss. Go ahead.
We'll go to AZ in a moment. Please, Abbas.
Good to see you all. Good to see you, AZ. Good to see you, Saqib. Very excited to be here today. My name, like you mentioned, is Abbas. I'm in California right now. A little bit drab background. That's why I've put the trees up, you know, spend time in nature as much as you can. My background is in all sorts of stuff. I really like to eat food. I really like to write words sometimes. I'm a social entrepreneur in these two areas. I'm also a cultural producer and a biotech professional. So I got my fingers in a lot of different pies. I'm excited to be here because what I know about success is that it's not about these like giant, you know, secrets that everyone's trying to tell you. The best way to success is building small but regular positive habits every single day. And that's what I'm here for, because I know Saqib has a lot of stuff planned along that route. So I'm happy and blessed to be here amongst such illustrious people.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Thank you, Abbas, and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, let us go to Filippo. Filippo, please. Filippo is your co-founder here today?
No, she couldn't make it.
Okay, she couldn't make it. Okay, very good. Please introduce yourself and say a little bit more about your startup that you're working on. I also wanted Bruno to hear from you a little bit. And so please.
So, hi everybody, I'm Filippo and I'm located in Italy, near Venice. And I'm a fifth generation winemaker. My family has been making wine since 1899. And I joined this club of alchemists because I'm developing a startup. It's Unfia, and we are developing a platform for winemakers so they can reach bigger markets all around the world, and they can reach bigger audience. And for buyers to buy straight from producer without huge markups, and they can have this relationship directly with the people that produce those products. And the reason I'm here because the industry, especially the wine industry, but all the agriculture industry, is one of the least digitalized in the world. And it's hard to change, to innovate and change something that the operation and processes that generation old, that have been the same for generation. And when you innovate, you're always misunderstood. You're always kind of like people fight you. And that was the reason I'm here, because you need a lot of strength to go and change something. And even my family doesn't want to innovate and digitalize. So in changing this is very hard. And that's what my concern in life is right now. Is we are starting, we are about to develop the platform. And when you start, it's always hard. And now it's like, I think it's even harder for the current circumstances and for what we are doing and trying to do in this industry.
Very good. Thank you, Filippo. New friends. And what a pleasure it is to meet with you. I had a fantastic meeting with Filippo the other day, and in all the places, what a gorgeous thing is this thing called internet. A new family is coming together. We just meet each other and become friends for life, in a manner of speaking. Welcome, Filippo.
Thank you.
And I miss meeting your co-founder. I hope to see her next time.
Sure.
Okay. Let us go to Usman Hadi, please. Welcome, Usman.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, so I'm located in Denmark, and I have my PhD in telecommunication, and I work in Nokia for 5G and 6G telecommunication equipment standardization. What brought me here is that I'm here to explore my roadblocks, basically, and to take chance at increasing my capacity to overcome those roadblocks, meet with new people in the technology, and have a better networking, and basically roadblocks in career and personal life as well. And I think joining a community of change makers around me will bring some positive change.
Very good. What a pleasure it is to have you. Another very humble man. Usman is working at the frontiers, the forefronts of communication technologies. He recently also received an appointment at a major university as a professor in UK. I won't say more about that. Maybe it was a secret. Sorry, I let it out. You want to say something about that? What's your thesis of research? Do you say maybe one or two lines about what you're working on and what is your appointment in UK all about?
Well, I don't want to talk about UK right now. It is something that it will be decided when I will be there. But
okay.
Basically, I work in wireless communication and optical communication. We bridge wireless now with machine learning, and we're trying to build the 6th generation of the network with the AI interface. So it's all about microwave and optical communication, bridging it with the wireless link.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Thank you, Usman, and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, let us go to Sabir. Sabir, are you with us? Do we see your beautiful face? Where are you? Okay, maybe Sabir is not with us right now. We'll go back to Sabir. Vesna, are you with us? Okay, we don't hear Vesna either. So Sabir and Vesna will come back to you, see what's going on with your audio video systems. Maria, would you send Sabir a message? Would love to see his pretty face and love to hear from him.
I'll do that.
Thank you. Okay, let us go to Arsh. Arsh, please.
Hello, everyone. As mentioned, I'm Harish, and I come from India. I'm a young entrepreneur. I have been a business owner for over a year. I work with I am a social media marketer, and I work with lead generation. I connected over with Saqib for over on LinkedIn, and we have had I think 3 to 4 wonderful conversations. He, what brought me here is those conversations. He really shaped my mind and helped me look at the bigger picture. Just having a normal conversation helped me picturize what I actually want to do instead of what I'm like currently doing, and like focusing on the bigger things as well. So like I also really like I could have I could get like a tremendous benefit by connecting with such wonderful people from all over the world, and include like daily habits that can be life changing. So that's why I'm here, and my top concern in life right now is to scale my business, but also see how I can bring the thing that I did for my life, went from a student to a digital entrepreneur, help others do the same. So that's what that would be my top concern in life right now.
What a pleasure it is to have you with us, Arsh. What Arsh didn't say, Tessin, what Arsh didn't say earlier in his, he started his own business at the age of 16. Sabir, take notice of this. It's massively successful. He has a team of people. He's only 18 years old, and he's now running a successful enterprise by himself, and he's thinking about starting a school and so on and so forth. It is a pleasure to have met such a young, inspiring man, and I look forward to more conversations with you, Arsh. Welcome. Okay, let us continue with our Indian contingent. Sabir, please introduce yourself. Where are you located in the world? What's your professional background? And say a little bit about what is Zil Money, and what is your vision for the Zil Money, and what is your passion for it, and what are you really up to, please?
Okay, thank you so much, first of all, and thank you so much for meeting everybody. And my name is Sabir. I am from southern part of India. And for the last 20 years, I live in Tyler, Texas. It is a small city in east of Texas, close to Dallas, Texas. And by profession, what happened, I used to fly in India. Then my company sent me for a Boeing rating. And somehow I could not pass my medical examination. Then I have to leave that job. Then I started a small company in east of Texas, then which is did pretty okay. Then lately we started another company called the Zilmoney Corporation, which is mainly for B2B payments. So when I was running the other company, and we have to depend on the many platforms to make the payments, then I thought, why can't we make one, and we need to solve our own problems. Then we put in the market and look like that is the problem for pretty much all the small business. So that is the story of the Zilmoney, and which is mainly for a B2B payment, and without a transaction fee. Now we have around 250,000 customers across the country. And moreover, I'm so happy to have this group. And the main reason, see, there is a saying that, for example, let me quote you one thing. In the book of the Ford, the Mr. Ford, right? He asked, in his book, he's saying that if I ask Americans back in 1930s, what do you want? So most of the people say, I want a fast riding horses, right? Their vision will not work the vision of the Ford, Mr. Ford, because his vision is that every American should have a car in the backyard. So his vision was everybody should be able to afford. But the vision of the people of that time, if he ask it here, they would say, I need a fast riding horse. The same way, this kind of group of visionaries like how do I spell the name?
Alchemist.
Alchemist, right? This is not a regular people group. In this group, this is a cream of the different part of the people from the different countries. So they can bring lot of visionaries together. And this is one of the LinkedIn and all too big for us, right? This kind of small group with talented visionaries, we all can make so much that ecosystem of next division in different field. We can share ideas. So this kind of thing, even Sakib doing also is very, very good. Not too many people, but like a talent of few people. And I'm very happy of that to be joined, and we can all share many ideas and many thinking together. So that's what it is. And thank you so much for the time to everybody.
What a pleasure it is to have met you in this lifetime, Sabir. Sabir found me from on all the places from a website called Quora. And he chased me down. One of these evenings, I got a call from her. I got a call from him, and I'm actually Vesna. Okay, unfortunately. Okay, Vesna cannot engage with us, but she's listening. Sorry, my attention drifted. So, Sabir, you are a humble man. Your vision, you started 2 years ago. How much money you have processed through your system already?
Now almost 14 billion, 13.8 or something.
$14 billion you have processed through your system in the last 2 years. Sabir is launching a revolution in banking, almost like a new Bitcoin of a kind of a place. There is no public offering. There is nothing to purchase or sell right now. But I invite you all to pay attention to Sabir and what this crazy guy is doing over there in Tyler, Texas. Thank you, Sabir. What a pleasure it is to have you with us. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, let us go to from here, my dear friend, Kathy Mcdougall. Kathy, please.
Hello, hello, hello. Again, my name's Kathy Mcdougall. I am in Missouri. So I'm right in the middle of Missouri, right between Kansas City and St. Louis, a little bit north of the college town of Columbia. And I had the pleasure of meeting Saqib through a sales call of all things. And I have been participant in his power course and his Power Sisters program, which I have absolutely loved. My work in the world is really, I do sales. And my goal is to change the way sales happens, to really do sales as truly a service, not made up as a service, but really self-serving. And the reason that that's important to me is because I really feel that it's a way to get marginalized people out of being marginalized. It's a absolutely low entry skill, or low entry price barrier. It's a skill that can be learned relatively quickly. There's a high demand for it. It's very lucrative. And I have a passion for helping marginalized people get out of that situation, because there's no reason in this world why people should be marginalized and why their financial situation should be the way it is. So why I'm here is because I'm terrible at habits. Absolutely terrible at habits. So I really look forward to being in a community of innovators and people, creators who I can participate in this up-leveling my game. So it's an honor.
Honor is all mine, Kathy. It was weird, anomalistic, and magical kind of thing how you and I met. It was literally like one of those sales calls, and we started talking to each other. And you're from Missouri, I'm here in Seattle, and we learned that we had some mutual friends in the past. We have been in the circles, in the orbits of Barbara Marx Hubbard, Mary Morrissey, James McManus. And what do you know? What a small place is the world that we found mutual friends. And since then, we have tracked and followed each other. So welcome, welcome. Okay, let us see. Let us hear from dear friend Sebastian Helm from Germany. Sebastian, please. Sorry, I did a part of your introduction, so please do it again.
Yes, I don't have to say where I'm from, but we did actually meet in Seattle.
Yes.
So where I lived 20 years. And I'm now kind of retired, but I'm originally a physicist, and then I was a long time in the software industry. And so now I'm partly homemaker. My wife works as a physiotherapist, and but we're both interested in many different things. And so right now we just started being interested in okay, I've been long time in sustainable investments, but now we really are delving into this and try to understand it. It's so much more complicated than I would think. So I'm just curious, and I like to learn new things and also about other people. So that's why I'm glad to be in this group.
Very good, Sebastian. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Thank you and welcome. Okay, let us go to Tessin. Are you able to be with us? Tessin, there is Tessin. Please unmute yourself. Tessin is a dear friend of mine from 27 years. For 27 years, within a month or two of landing in the United States, I met Tessin in Texas, and we have remained friends since. Tessin, would you say a little bit about who you are, what you're up to in the world, what's your professional background? And other than that, I held a gun to your head and you came here to this meeting, why are you really here? What inspired you? What triggered you to come be with us on your Sunday morning? Please kindly unmute yourself. You have to, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, hello everybody. Sorry for my crazy looks. I kind of slept in, and then I realized that Saqib has invited me, and I cannot, just not be here. He's absolutely right. I've known Saqib for over 27 years. We were in school together. I don't even remember that year. Well, who was the president? Was it Roosevelt? I don't know. Maybe Clinton. Anyhow, so over the years, we have had our times, doing our thing. We were together also in Charlotte. Saqib, we forgot about Charlotte.
Yes.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
So say a little bit, Tasin, what are you up to in your life, and what inspired you other than a consistent effort from our marketing team? What brought you here today, and what are you up to right now?
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a small business owner. I have a couple of franchises for cell phone businesses. I also do a little bit of consultancy on side. Multiple kind of roles I have here. What really brought me here is, honestly, I love everything that Saqib does, and I like to hear his new ideas and proposals. Sometimes they don't really sound to normal folks as doable, but I've always found Saqib very inspirational. My biggest problem is, just to share with you entrepreneurs here, that a small business owner like me, when he starts out and he gets to a point where he starts getting bigger with no formal managerial education, has a pretty much hitting into a dead end or a dead wall, or should I say a brick wall, to say, where we are unable to handle businesses to the point where you would see any other franchise doing their business, like McDonald's or Wendy's, to say. So I've always struggled with the managerial level of my business. I've always had trouble with bringing people to the level where I would think they are coming on to. And next thing you know, they're actually not what I thought they were. So the human resource issue I have is gigantic. If to excuse my dog, she's excited. So that's one thing I've always tried to learn over the years from Saqib, and I'm always looking forward to learning. I'm enjoying every bit of information I'm getting through this forum right now. Sabir, I really enjoyed your story. It's very inspirational. I can relate to that pretty much. And that's pretty much who I am and what I do. That's what I'm here for.
Lovely. Thank you, Tasin. What a pleasure it is to have you. Honor is mine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Let us see. I think I want to hear the voice of my dear friend, Az. Az, please.
Hi, everyone. Awesome to be part of this group. It's amazing timing. I just got back yesterday from what was going to be a 3-week trip and became a 10-week trip to Pakistan. I wasn't able to join the power course because of that trip, but so background, I'm a computer scientist who's always been a solutions architect, solutions innovator, did a lot of consulting, and I'm currently at Apple as an engineering program manager for the ads platform. So when you do a search on for any app, the ads that you see, that's my team. So we're at the forefront of how to find what people want and how to address what our customers want at the same time. That's on the professional side. On the personal side, I'm concerned about information access, information discovery, which includes discovering who we are. We talk about I this, I that. Our conversations come from a place of not knowing what this I is. So that's my concern. How do I bring a tool to people's simple access, to people's simple use, a simple tool that enables you to find who you are, to speak from a place of knowing? That leads to information discovery, that leads to human exchange, that leads to hopefully, possibly avoiding dementia. Because what is dementia but too many things that you got to deal with? So trying to simplify our lives, simplify information access, information management. I've had a 7-year experience with a Zen master that Saqib is aware of and has peripherally engaged with. I've been engaged with Saqib for a number of years. And my goal is to bring this knowledge, the knowledge of Zen, the knowledge of self-knowing, the knowledge of little pieces of information that can empower your life to you in a way that's actually consumable. So I'm working on what I believe to be a much bigger problem than myself. I'm passionate about it. I just got married, well, December, but so I'm dealing with that as well. So yeah, this is it's the project of my life. I have dreams about this. I have visions about this. I've done vision quest and seen solutions that don't yet exist. It's like what Henry Ford said. Thank you for that that quote. People don't yet know that there is a solution that deals with our spirits and our psyches that comes up from our the critter brain, through the reptilian brain, through the mammalian brain, through the subconscious mind to our brain. There's a possible way of having an engaged access all the way down to your own bones. Unless you know about it, it's Greek. But once you figure it out, okay, it's not Greek, it's more than Latin, right? Once you figure it out, the human neuromuscular, mechanism is possible to engage with. You can engage with your own human, way of working, NLP and all that. So it's very involved. It's a passion of mine. I am dealing with the breakdown of how to deal with a normal life, marriage, home, multiple time zones, and yet get this project out. So I'm very passionate about it. I know it's bigger than I am. I need people who are better than me and stronger than me to make this happen. So if this ends up being the forum through which that happens, great. But I know it needs to happen. So that's what I'm passionate about.
Thank you, Az. Just a quick comment. You got married in December. A brand new marriage is not something to be dealt with. It is something to be enjoyed and celebrated. Okay, let's start there. The project of self-transformation must first begin with fully enjoying the brand new marriage.
Very loving wife. Yeah. Eastern
I am
culture.
teasing you. I'm teasing you. Okay, thank you, Az. Welcome. Okay. Let us go to our very own Sonia Relas. Please, Sonia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sonia, original from Mexico, and I am living in Seattle for, I lost the time, maybe 17 years. Anyway, so what I do, I am on a small cleaning services, and I am the honor to meet Saki a long time ago, and I am here because by experience, I know I am experience different life because the presence of Saki. I had this kind of mind where what I was thinking but because my background, I only can do this. I didn't have big drinks. I see what my people do that has job and maybe has a business, a small business. But after I met Saki, he started to say something. And that time I was thinking weird things about, no, you can do that and you can have that. And I start to listen to him and I see something that he said that I am who can create the life that I want to. I had the power. And I see I will start working with my black rocks. I don't know what is the
roadblocks.
That, thank you. So, and I am here also because I see they had I don't know if it's but it's hard for me to be persistent. I can do some exercise or start exercise. I become very excited, but then I stop. So, but I see that when Saki and I start to make that commitment to, no, we will do that. We will do the make smoothies. We will make that. And sometimes I don't want to. Most of the time I don't want to. But Saki start to say, no, we say that we will do that and let's do it. So I see I'm very happy to be here with this beautiful community because I know the power of community when you commitment to someone or to a big community, the community pulls you. And
right.
And I'm here.
Right. Very good.
That's it. Yeah.
What a treasure. What a treasure. Thank you, Sonia Relas. Welcome.
Thank you, Rina.
Welcome. Okay, let us hear from, so Nadia, are you still with us?
Yes, I am here, but
Do
I
we-
have a little bit problem just to speak. I have like a sore throat.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear, but we hear you quite well. So please, first of all, what a pleasure it is to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your invitations, Saqib. It's a pleasure to be invited in your Alchemist club. My name is Nadia. I'm originally from Morocco, and I'm here living in Seattle, United States, Washington State. I am, for the moment, I'm studying in business, and I saw many videos in Saqib. Me and Saqib were friends in Facebook. We never talked. That's the first time. And I am studying business management. After being, before that time, my background is a little bit accounting and finance. I work in Pricewaterhouse for a long time. And there was in Morocco, and there was a department where we are launching like a new startup. So it's a little bit exciting for me to hear about startup and to like think about the past when I was really professional, because my life here in US was like, now here is like 12 years. I was mostly a homemaker. I'm the opposite of Zaidi, because I get divorced and now I'm excited to start my life, my single life. So I'm studying in business management. What I have to say, like the club, Alchemist Club, will be really a good help for a lot of people, because I believe that developing habits and the skills is the key of success. A lot of people like me, sometimes we are like lazy to do something. Like Sonia said, sometimes we are lazy to do certain things. But when it is, I believe, when it is like a habit, you do it every day, it's become easy to do. Like you wake up, like sometimes you say like, oh, I'm gonna wake up and exercise. If you do it one time, sometimes you are lazy to do it. But once you develop it like a habit, it will be like a habit. It will be more easy. You will be more encouraged to do it. Anything else? And networking is very important for
Yes.
You said like the Alchemist is developing a network. Networking is the key of a good entrepreneur. That's what I believe. And thank you, Saqib, for inviting me, and I wish success for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, and I hope your throat recovers. Salt water gargles, very, very helpful.
Everything you can imagine. It's not just my advice to wear a mask. There's something going on. I don't know what is it. I don't have a COVID-19 for sure, but I have something. I don't know. I've been dealing for 1 week now. And thank you so much. Thank you, Saqib, for inviting me.
With pleasure, with pleasure. Hope you recover fast.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So let us see. Let us go to my dear friend Harish. Harish, please.
Hello, assalamu alaikum everyone. It's Harish. Sorry for the bad pose. Actually, I had a very bad back pain for the last couple of hours, but still managed to come here. So it's Harish from Lahore, Pakistan, the city of gardens, a lovely city. And my background, I'm a computer science guy, and I worked a couple of years as a Java developer in a software house, local software house. Then I jumped towards teaching, and now I'm teaching as an assistant professor in a Java university, the biggest university in Pakistan. But more than anything, I am deeply interested in entrepreneurship, and I am currently running my startup. It's a very innovative startup, His name is Watchman. I can type it later in the message. And the concept is very simple. People are not able to travel as a tourist to their famous places, often because of lack of time, maybe money or any other thing, visa regulations. So me and my co-founders build a platform, in fact, a marketplace where you can connect with the tour guides who are locally present at the tour location where you want to go, and you can have a live tour, live video interactive tour with them. It would be a great one. So on this concept, we have built a platform. I will type the website. It's active running platform. I'm working on this. So what brought me here, and I'm just seeing the person, what is the top concern in the life right now? Both are actually the same question for me. Sakib brought me here, and the reason, firstly, is connectivity with all the different type of people. Even I, as a teacher, often quote in the class, three things actually make you a very quality and refined person. One is meeting different type of people. Second, traveling to different places, and third, reading different stuff. And I think these are in priority as per my life. And I think such a diverse people in the same platform is a huge bonus for me. Roadblocks and other learnings are secondary, but connecting with such different people is absolutely nice. And on top of that, I was just hearing some comments which Zeddy, I'm not sure what AZ means. It couldn't be Amazon because it's Apple. So what Zeddy was saying is very matchable to my thinking. I believe we're gifted with two things: the intuition and impact. And my concern, and for which I came here, and I think this Alchemist platform is such precious for me, is that I want to discover the connection between these two things. This is a gadget which I'm using, and there's some inner feeling which I'm having about all of you. How do these two relate? And sometimes I heard Steve Jobs said, there is something in life which makes people poets instead of bankers. And what is it? I want to discover. This is my biggest goal of life. But for that, I'm very thankful to Saka because he is such a precious guy for me, because I see very rare person in my circle who can relate to different dimensions. So I'm looking forward to everyone. I'm just quoting Saka for now. And so my connection to all of you is going to be inshallah amazing. And that's it.
What a pleasure. Poets instead of bankers. What a metaphor. Yeah. What a lovely metaphor. Thank you, Harish. I don't know if you all caught that, but Harish is a professor of computer science at a noted university in Pakistan. And it is my own honor and pleasure to have Harish with us. One more thing about Harish. Harish is a deep aficionado and lover of the philosopher named Mcdougall. And that's a passion that Harish and I both share. So yes, it's a lovely pleasure to have you with us, Harish. Thank you.
If you allow me, I can put one couplet.
Later. Let us continue with the program. But also, Harish, your new headphones, this thing is not working out. It's very difficult to hear you. It garbles your voice. So you might want to make some change there. You were about 50% audible with these devices. Okay, thank you, Harish. Welcome. So let us, Adnan, are you with us? Hello, Adnan.
Yes. Welcome. And my apologies for being late. So you have to help me a little bit, just the introduction.
Okay,
and
so
what is the format?
We initially introduced what this club was and what inspired us to bring people together. And we'll say a little bit more about that later. Then we asked people 3 questions. What is your name? Where are you located in the world? What's your professional background? And what's your top concern / what brought you to come be with us on this gorgeous Sunday morning?
Right.
So please.
Sir, thank you very much. So the reason I'm here, Sakib is a dear friend, and his passion to do the right thing is the reason I'm here. He and I had several conversations, and he always points us to the right direction. Okay, this is the North Pole, not for him or myself, but for humanity. And I think that's the reason I am here today. My background, I worked for Hewlett Packard for about 20 years. I was a senior director R&D when I left HP. Then I joined Amazon Robotics, and my vision and mission was to automate warehouses. About 4 years ago, actually, so I wrote a paper for them to have a lights out warehouse type that today they employ anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 people. And I was going to give them a warehouse with no human being in the warehouse. With that background, 4 years ago, I left Amazon and started my own startups. Currently, I'm involved in about 4 different startups. And in parallel, I have a nonprofit organization called the Startup Council. And my vision is to develop an ecosystem where it's a zero entry barrier. And the way I relate it to people is, it took me 30 years to walk away from a corporate job to start my own thing and do whatever I wanted to do. I want to give this opportunity to young people when they're starting their career. And that's why we have the Startup Council. What all we want is come to us with your problem statement, desire to work hard and learn, and the rest we can walk you through the whole journey. It's a nonprofit. It's no cost, no equity. And I think there are huge benefits to the society in states, Muslim community on large, and globally in the long run. We are developing a system that's going to bridge the equity gap between haves and have-nots.
Very good.
And again, Sakib is a dear friend, and I think the opportunity to get to know people and work together is a great reason I'm here.
Wow.
And thanks for inviting me.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure. You know, it's interesting that how your screen is appearing. It looks like you're a virtual reality program. Like we have actually succeeded in creating an AI figure, like an Einstein or something from the past that has resurrected in this call. So Adnan and I share passion for helping entrepreneurs. And among other things, if I remember correctly, I could be remembering it incorrectly, but if I remember correctly, among other things, you're also a world champion of tango. Is that right? Do I remember this correctly?
Close. I used to compete in country western, and I have 2 world titles, 4 national titles. But
2
that was
world
just
titles and national titles for tango dancing.
country western. But
country
I
western,
hung my
tango.
shoes about 10 years ago, so I'm just a neutral observer now.
I see. Very good. Very good. What a pleasure. Thank you for being here and welcome. Okay, let us see. Rabia, would you like to check in? Are you in a place where you could check in? Introduce yourself, who you are.
Hi, hi everyone. My name is Rabia Chaudhary. My education background is civil engineer from UET Lahore, Pakistan. And but I am a homemaker in US. I'm here for about 19 years. Very busy mom. And now I am starting to do like my new kind of career in stocks. I am learning it very seriously, and I am more interested in day trading, and hopefully it will be very very interesting and very good path for me. So wish me luck and thank you. I already started this, so really enjoying. So thanks everyone.
Yeah, what a pleasure, Rabia, it is to have you with us. I won't go into your story, but Rabia has dealt with unbelievable difficulties and circumstances, and she has overcome them. And who she is today and what she's able to join today and what she's doing is nothing short of a miracle. I won't go into the details, but very proud of you, Rabia, and welcome to be with us. Okay, Vakar, please.
Hello everyone. My name is Vakar Ahmed. I am from Pakistan. I have been a student of accounting and commerce, but after talking to Sakib 3 to 4 months ago, I have found that I have been in a wrong field because I am not so much interested in accounting. I had been a vision to do a business and have an enterprise. So currently, I am planning to build my own enterprise and my business. And I have also been a part of a power course. It's been going great for me, and I have been able to look at my difficulties in my life, in my self, and I have been able to overcome a lot of them. And I am still recognizing a lot of difficulties around myself and around my family, and I have a vision to change my culture in my family and my hometown. So that's all I have. It's been a really honor to be a part of this community, and I am hoping to learn a lot from all the people in this group from all around the world. Yes, thank you.
Okay, very good. Vakar is a courageous young man who had an untimely death of his father very recently, and the leadership of his family to take care of his tribe came to Vakar, and he's really stepped up to a plate. He wasn't ready for it. He wasn't prepared for it. And when the time came, Vakar stepped up, and very proud of what he's been able to do and the transformation he's caused in himself and the responsibility he's taken on. Welcome, Vakar. Okay, let's see. I think that we have gone through. All right, so team, Rasul Ventures team, we will ask you to introduce yourself after the break. Now I want to invite our special guest, Bruno Alabizo, my dear friend, my inspiration, the grand alchemist who taught me the early stages, in my early stages when I was starting out, how to do alchemy, how to bring people together. Bruno is a, I can't help myself but to introduce Bruno. So I will just say maybe, you know what, I'll let Bruno introduce himself. Bruno, please introduce yourself. You're mute, Bruno, you're mute. You're mute, Bruno.
I think you should go ahead and
introduce. Okay, I will go ahead. So Bruno is a, he's a musician, he's a winemaker, he's an artist, he's a community developer, he brings people together. And among many other things, he was formerly at Microsoft Research, where he led important projects. Bruno is the inventor of the Windows interface. So if you actually have a little red blinking light or a device driver that's not working on your Windows, you can blame Bruno for it. Bill Gates personally hired him to build Windows long time ago. And I've had the pleasure, he's retired since, and I've had the pleasure of having hundreds of evenings with Bruno where we have explored the edges of thought and philosophy. So Bruno, I have some questions for you. Please say a little bit about yourself, what you would like to say. And I want to hear from you. You have been a technical visionary, the computing, where it is today. You have had a major contribution towards developing the industry of computing, the things we take for granted today. We just go out and get Windows and everything works fine. And you have been in the early pioneers of bringing that forth. Now, going forward, looking to the future, please share for a couple of minutes, what do you see that's on the horizon? What concerns you have about the future of technology? What advice do you have for us to what should we be paying attention to, and how should we pay attention to what should we pay attention to? Please.
Thank you, Sakib. And of course, thank you, number one, for inviting me to this wonderful group of people, entrepreneurs. And I have to first say that I'm not in the business of myself right now to create something new. So I am just enjoying life and taking it easy. But on the other hand, I haven't forgotten any of the lessons of the past, or I have never lost interest in looking at the future. So maybe I can answer Sakib's question in some way or another. And when we talk about the future, it's always tricky because, it happens very often to be surprising. A good example of this happened in my own lifetime when we started this venture of computing that I was fortunate enough to be at the right time, at the right place to contribute to. There was no understanding or notion of how the technology would be used. I'll give an example. Take the internet itself. I saw the beginning of internet when there were, just a few tens of pages available on the internet, and nobody used it, and nobody knew what it was, although it was already very common in universities, among academics. And when we started developing it, we had no idea of how it would become. Like, for instance, we had no idea there would be social media that created a million different problems, as you know, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. So today, we had no idea about the fact that it would be possible for people to disrupt functions of big systems by hacking into it. The beginning of the dream of entrepreneurship always, very often, I found that to be true for the internet, for other things, they look at the best use of the technology you are developing, but they never or rarely think of what can happen if this technology is used for other purposes. By the way, I want to extend this not just to computer science or to technology of the present, but also the past. Think about nuclear power. Nuclear power, when it was invented, it was invented by scientists that had ideals about creating energy, renewable energy, cheaply and effectively. But then it was also used to create weapons of mass destruction. So what I'm trying to say is that if you, when you start your journey, you are always full of enthusiasm and full of passion for the idea that you want to bring forward. But my advice to everybody would be, keep your eyes open, be realistic, and try to find out what you can do to make sure that the technology that you are or the new ideas that you are bringing to life don't inspire or allow bad uses of that technology itself. And the other thing, I'm a realist at heart. I was an idealist when I was younger, and I'm happy to have been an idealist. But with time, I learned that if idealism doesn't meet reality, it's an empty proposition or dangerous proposition. So whenever you actually start a new enterprise, or you want to create a new product, a new organization, or whatever, always keep in mind the real constraints that limit or shape the way that technology can work. And do not be afraid of changing your mind. Do not become religious in anything. Religion, I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but religion to me is a killer of progress, because it fixes upon an individual a particular framework that never changes no matter what reality offers to you. And I think the challenge for everyone, not only the ones in business, is to be able to be flexible enough to have assumptions about reality, but then to be able to change those assumptions as reality shows that maybe those ideas we had to be modified. This is a common practice in science. In science there are theories, And then, of course, as experiments show that the theory is imperfect, we change the theory. But unfortunately, human beings are more keen on keeping a theory in their head and wanting to prove at all costs that it works, despite the fact that reality may actually say something else. And again, this is typical of religion, right? You'll never change your religion, no matter how many times reality shows you that maybe things are not the way that the religious ideals make us believe. But that's not true only, that's true of religion, but it's true of ideology, it's true also of business ideas, it's true of every idea we have. We have to be flexible enough to cope with unknown circumstances and always keep the eyes on the ground and not in the sky. That is my advice.
Yeah, thank you, Bruno. Thank you. Essentially, innovate or die. I think evolution is required in each dimension and aspect of life. What a pleasure. Thank you kindly, Bruno, and welcome. Welcome to the meeting, and thank you for your presence, and thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Why don't we take a 5 minutes break, but do come back from the break because the best is yet to come. And if you don't come back, I have a very active team, and they will find you, they will search for you, and they will bring you back. So come back, let's take 5 minutes break. We have some amazing other things prepared for you. See you in 5 minutes. Thank you. So time is now 11:09, back here by 11:14 Pacific time. Thank you. for the music in the last 2 minutes. Okay, everyone, let's come back together. Now, we had created about 5 pages worth of programming here for you. And just so you know, in the 1 hour and 15 minutes, we have gone through the first page. So we're going to have to do some modification. Everything, of course, takes much longer than we expected. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the state of the world right now. If we look at our world right now, it's a very interesting situation. We have several civil wars and internation wars that are brewing up. We have the economic disparity is increasing. We are having lots of social unrest all across the world because of that. Our climate is certainly heating up, and that is having its consequences. The ocean tables are rising. The migrations of masses are beginning to happen, and we're going to see more and more of that. And at the same time, there is an emergence of new technology that's coming up. It is no secret to any of you, the rise of AI, the rise of robotics and drones that's happening right now. The proliferation of the small devices, which we call the Internet of Things, IoT, is finally becoming a new reality in many, many places. We also have now technologies for $35. You can get this kit called CRISPR and begin to edit your own DNA. And there is a lot of people that are hacking and experimenting with that. Hacking our own DNA is not a fantasy anymore. That's a possibility. And many other technologies that I might be blind to, that you might know, that are rising their heads. So what is happening in the middle of all this? You know, human being has a kind of a nature that when something happens, that's something that disturbs our stability, something changes in our world, we find ourselves at the effect of that happening. We consider that we are trapped by the circumstances. We begin to think that the circumstances are lined up against us. This is a natural state of human being. We call this kind of a state maybe a victimhood, in which we begin to think that whatever is happening to us. Now, first of all, the things are changing, the scenario is changing, and we are a little bit addicted to good and bad. We have assessments about everything. I don't know if my friend Bruno is hearing this, but we have had hundreds of hours of conversations and philosophy about this. We are addicted to calling things, this is good, this is bad. No,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
See, Bruno, we all the time, whenever we hear something, earlier when I was saying this thing, see in your head, you're already thinking, well, that's bad, but that's not all bad. There are also some good. So we get very trapped in this interpretation of good and bad, and we find ourselves at the effect of what we consider bad. But the truth is that the opportunity exists when there is a change. But that opportunity cannot be available to people that just run around going like, oh my God, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen, believing in all kinds of conspiracy theories, disconnecting yourself from reality. Opportunity cannot be available to you. Opportunity is available to you if you accept just the way things are, just the way situation is in front of you, and begin to build a kind of a mood about the future. What is your mood really? Mood is very different from emotions and feelings. Emotions and feelings are more obvious. They're more like if you have a strong emotion of anger or something that's obvious to you. But mood is more hidden and in the background. And mood is really your opinion about the future. If you think the future is going to turn out well, you have a good mood. If you think the future is going to turn out not so well, you have a bad mood. So this sort of becomes like a double trap. The moment we build a bad mood, mood of pessimism, mood of resentment, mood of resignation, we don't have the opportunity. So our job really at the Club of Alchemists, the central job with all the practices that we will introduce to you, our central job is to build the moods that help us navigate the future. The mood of optimism, the mood of enthusiasm, the mood of serenity, the mood of well-being, the mood of happiness, the mood of care for each other. These moods that are like your opinions about the future, they reveal new opportunities to us. Okay, I had actually prepared a lot longer lecture about this, but I'm going to cut it short here. And I want to now give you, did we say all the, yeah, I think that, okay, so I want to invite each of you now. We're gonna break you into breakout rooms, 3 or 4 people each. So in this conversation, we're gonna give you 10 minutes, is to invent your future in conversations. What do you see on the horizon of the next 5 to 10 years for yourself? Invent a best version of yourself. Dream a little bit, but your dream is not disconnected from reality. This background that we have created for you, working from this background, the general background we have created, and working from the background of your own life that is in front of you. Invent for yourself your best self, your next 5 to 10 years, and share with each other. And when one person is speaking, the others give generous listening. So listen to each other as that best version of yourself that you're creating for yourself. Just the job of speaking, inventing your future, and building moods that help you navigate the future. Ready to do this? Okay, very good. Now we're going to do the job of breaking you into small groups. We have, I think, 3 formal questions for you. Victoria, would you please put the questions?
Sure. Yeah.
Do we have the questions, or should I write them?
We have the questions.
Okay, go ahead and put the questions in the chat. And I'm gonna see. Okay, how many people are we in this screen? 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 21 people. Okay. So we can have maybe
5 groups of
5
4.
breakout rooms. Okay. Well, we'll keep 1 in the main main room, and then we'll create the 5 breakout rooms. Okay. Please give us a moment while we do this job. Arsh.
Also, one more thing. When you guys leave the breakout room, don't leave the meeting by accident, because I've done that before. Just leave the breakout room, not the whole meeting. Just a warning.
Okay. Assign AZ, Zedi, Filippo, and Harish. Okay. Maria, Nadia, Rachel, and Rabia. Okay. And do the job of Sebastian, Sonia, Tessin, and Yash. Okay, we're going to open the rooms. 10 minutes, and we will see you back here. Did we get the questions? Please get together, share. What is this conversation provoking for you? Where do you see yourself on the horizon? I don't like the question where you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years. I like the question, what do you see for yourself on the horizon of the next 5 to 10 years for yourself? Articulate your dream, invent your future mood in conversations with each other, and practice generous listening. See you back soon. Okay. What is going on here? Arsh, are you joining the breakout room? I think he has joined, and maybe the interface is a little behind. Okay. And I intended Bruno, Sabir, Usman, and Wakar to come and be with us here. Okay, very good. Excellent. Bruno, are you able to be with us?
Yes, I am. I am.
Okay, so let us then begin. What is this conversation provoking for you? What do you see for yourself on the horizon of the next 5 to 10 years? Articulate your dream, invent your future mood, and let us listen from you. Usman, why don't you begin, please?
So I think, as I told you, that I have been linked with industrial research, and I'm trying to bridge the distance between academia and industrial research for the last 2-3 years. Also during my PhD, I was doing that. So I think I feel ambitious because I have a mood to do something, achieve this goal, and that is the point which is not clear to me, that where do I want to see myself going towards industrial research or academia. To be frank, I like both of them. I know that there are pros and cons in sticking with both of these things. And sooner or later, you have to choose just the one side. So that is why I'm here, to connect with the people who are from the technological background, who have experience in life. What do they think about the situation where I am stuck in my mind? And what should I do with my career in future years? I mean, I want to do research, I want to invent things, write IPRs, make new technology, but I want to continue teaching as well, because that is what drives me. And that is not clear to me at this point of my life.
There's a philosopher, thank you, Usman. There's a philosopher that we will study. It occurs for me to just maybe say a few things. And in times to come, we will help you, of course, in more detail. But there's a philosopher that we are going to study right away after starting this club called Roberto Mangabeira Unger. He talks about this notion of false, necessity of choosing between the option. I think what has happened, that there's like a false necessity that is imposed upon us. Should I do this or this or this? We will see what is the right path, and maybe the path reveals itself and you don't need to choose it. The path chooses you, and some of those things are already emerging in front of you. The more important question is, put yourself 10 years out, looking backward, what have you accomplished? And have it your way. Have it done this, this, or this, without trying to choose between this, this, or this. What is it that you would have done? What is it that you would have accomplished? Who you would have become? Invent is just an invention. It's not like you're committing to it, or you are doing imaginative anticipation. And I'll ask Sabir and Waqar to do the same. That what do you see 10 years out, looking backwards? What have you created? What is your ideal self? Maybe we accomplish, maybe we don't accomplish. What is it that you want to aim at? So invent a little bit with us, so we can begin to listen to you as that.
Should I continue?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So if I look back at, 10 years, it's not all complete 10 years, because I did my high school in 2010. And in the last 10 years, it has been fantastic. I did my bachelor's, master's, PhD. I got a good job. From that point of view, I think that if I look what I planned, I achieved up till now what I wanted to do. But you never plan ahead for like 20 years or 30 years, because as you said that path chooses you, you don't choose the path. So I kept on inventing myself what are the right decisions to be taken during my life. And when I started doing my bachelor's, my idea was to do a government job, because I was working for the defense industry. But then I opted out and I came here and I started to to discover myself, taking just a decision based on my, let's say, imaginative thinking. And that has been successful, and I'm happy with what I've done. But the thing is that still it's like it's a tricky situation right now for the future where I belong now. And what I want to learn through this networking and this Club of Alchemists is that you can be good at technical things, but then after some time in your life, you need to be political, and you need to learn how to deal with the people and people from the industry and other stuff. And I think that I lack over there. I can be a very good researcher, but I am not a very good in communication skills with dealing with the people who are not so technical, right? So that is the main two things when I think about when I evaluate myself.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you. You are, to begin to help you in that direction, to begin to help you develop those navigational skills, I propose that you are missing an important question. And I don't know what that question is, but that's a question that you must shape. And that is the question that has to do with technology and how technology, see, human being is a technology animal. It's all technology, my glasses, my coat, my clothes, this thing, even at the very basic language as a technology. With language, we're invented everything, husband, wife, my home, my place. Human being is a technological animal. You are playing at the bleeding edges of technology. When Bruno invented Windows, Bruno didn't just invent Windows. Now, Bruno may fight with me about this, but so this is what I'm saying. This is not what Bruno is saying. Bruno didn't just invent Windows. By inventing what Bruno invented, Bruno designed the next 20 years of great deal of human beings. When we are engaged, when Sabir is creating new mechanisms for small merchants to get paid or to do some kind of facility, you're not just inventing technology, but you're inventing human beings. So standing in these two places, you are missing an important question. We won't nail what that question is right in this moment, but I invite you from now till we talk the next time, you think about what is an important question. You can also interact with me in the Slack space. We're gonna add you and so on and so forth. And think, what is that important question that will shape your roadmap and your career? Bruno, do you have anything, any advice for this young scientist who is at the forefront of communication technology? What might you say, as having been a scientist yourself who had been at the forefront of technology? What advice you may have for Usman, please? Mute. You're mute.
I listened to Usman's question, if you want to call it that way. I think there was a question, which was in a nutshell, and Usman, correct me if I got it wrong. You know, I have all the technology or the academic background to do what I want to do, but I lack the ability to turn all this into something pragmatic through interaction with others, managing the network of people that interact with, and to bring whatever idea I have into the practicality of making it real. And I don't know. I don't know if I am the most appropriate person to answer that, because in many ways I've always had the same problem. I, fortunately or unfortunately, I've never been in a situation where I had to address that particular issue, because I was given the benefit and the privilege to work in a research environment, and therefore I didn't have that side where I had to actually convert all those ideas into something that would then hit the world and as Sakib is saying, program human beings or invent human beings. Inventing, I mean, inventing human beings is also tricky, because so I believe that was your fundamental question. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, Bruno, let me ask you a question. Let me.
No, I was going to ask Usman if I read it wrong.
No, you read his question right. You read his question right. But I believe that what is going to help Usman, I want to ask you a question and say what occurs for you to say, and see if that shines some light. You are someone who was able to grip on to the edges of what is the latest technological horizon. How did you approach the world of technology from the perspective so you were able to stay at the forefronts and at the same time create great deal of value for others and yourself? Standing in that role, what advice you may have for a young innovator on what were you paying attention to that allowed you to remain relevant at the forefronts of technology?
Well, a couple of things. Number one is the strong assumption that I made to myself that what I was bringing forward was the way that the future would develop. In other words, a visionary, if you want to call it, quality of trying to envisage the future. And the second thing, which is probably closer to Usman's question, is how to, although I said I wasn't research, so I had the benefit of not having to do all the bargaining and all the networking that is required to put something on managing the effects of the technology. I had to sell it internally, and that is not that different. And when you have an idea which is going to change the way people normally do things, all you get is criticisms. And it takes an enormous amount of commitment and an effort to carry on in spite of all the criticism that you get. The criticism normally come from two sides. One is the habit of doing the things the old way and not wanting to change, which is a natural human trait. And the other one is the not invented here syndrome. How come you are doing that and I'm not? I mean, your idea must be bad. Mine is much better than yours. So these two things are the two major factors that you have to be ready to fight with wherever you go. You find. Sorry?
Never mind. Please continue.
Yeah, Kathy, you're not on mute. Everybody else, please go mute.
That's fine, Daisy. We got it, Daisy. Thank you.
So these are the difficulties that unavoidably will come your way. But the point is that two advices. Number one, you have to be persistent. You have to be committed to your idea. And you will find that sooner or later, you will have allies that understand the power of your idea. And those are the ones you should cultivate the most and create teams that are around those people and ignore the ones that come as enemies. Don't waste time in trying to defend your ideas against them, but rather make quote unquote friends with those that are on your side. Don't waste energy defending your idea with those that want to bring them down, because you'll never convince them. That is human nature. They already have their own inner motivations for not wanting to accept what you're doing, and no matter what you will say, they will always fight you. Waste of time. I found out that's a great waste of time, and in fact, he exhausted me doing that. So I advise other people to do that. Just carry on what you're doing. Do rather than fight, and try allies. Make friends rather than try to convince enemies. That you'll never convince them. So that would be my.
No, thank you, Bruno. Yeah, well said. First, the role of perception, which Bruno called vision, watching the horizons of what's going on. The thing we're going to help you a lot at this club with is opening up the perception. Number two, which has to do some amount of courage and some amount of, those, have you ever seen Family of Lemurs? They sometimes there's a little long mice, they get up and look over the horizon, what's going on, they go back down. So we have to learn to be lemurs. We have to get up and watch over the horizon, what's happening, and warn the tribe about it. Number one. Number two, let's go ahead and close all the breakout rooms. Number two, very important point that Bruno brought up is emotional fortitude. How do you develop emotional fortitude where you have your own internal mood that you can maintain in the face of resistance, in the face of negativity, in the face of those that says, well, things will never change. In culture, there's a general resignation about things will ever change. So how do you counter that resignation and not be infected by it, but rather infect others with your own mood of optimism and enthusiasm? And number three, allies, really great point Bruno made, something that we are also paying attention to in the development of networks of trusts. So, okay, is that helpful, Usman, at least at the first level?
Thanks a lot. Yeah,
with pleasure.
It is very helpful.
Sabir, I'd like to hear a little bit from you about what do you see, would you say a little bit, what do you see on the horizon of next 5 to 10 years for you, but that is not just you being as an individual, but what do you see on the horizon of the financial world as an innovator in that area? What advice you have for others? What should people be paying attention to with regards to the financial technology, fintech? What do you see coming up? In some moments you've mentioned new banking and others, but I'd like everyone to hear directly from you. And where do you see yourself and your enterprise, and where do you see the industry in the next 5 to 10 years, please?
No, okay, thank you so much. So far, everything in my life happens as it goes. I did not plan anything to be such a way, except I wanted to be a flying field when I was young, when I was in the school. The rest, all the things happen down the road. So now in financial industry, that my vision is that to go towards the pay by touch or pay by iris, the with eyes. So we don't even need a gadget. So which is I am been thinking for many years to have in the retail places and all pay by touch, right? But is I don't know, some reason still not much anywhere pay by touch technology. We don't have to take a card. We don't have to need a phone. We don't need anything. We just need our finger to pay. And another thing also, to make it more secure, I always think that whenever we are in front of the register, it should be pay by our iris, right? We don't need any more technology. It's already having the passport in the certain countries. Whenever we go, the gate will open automatically, especially in the Dubai and all, right? So this kind of things, I think why we even need to carry a phone or something else when we are already been created better identity in our own eyes. So this kind of thinking I always think about to make it happen, make it more open payment system in next 5 or 10 years, which may come up much more to the public.
Thank you, Sabir. One more question before we let you off the hook. What is it that you think the banks today are not doing very well, that you are beginning to do very well? How do you see banking and the future of banking changing?
The banking also, when I first used the online banking of Bank of America and all, that time also back in 2002 and 3, I was thinking which was not what really giving a business people needed to transaction. There was many restriction which a best vision can stop it.
Small business particularly that you focus on.
Right. They don't have to restrict in many access point because of the security, but they could do in many other ways to bypass that. So banking also most likely will be a brickless banking, and which is a cashless technology, which is always in many these countries like Swedish and all have a cashless technology, because financially is nothing but a number. It don't need a currency anymore. It don't need anything else other than the numbers. So which will go towards a brickless banking.
Okay. Very good. Okay, Sabir, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Let's see. When we invented this program, we thought it was going to go much faster. So we are now on page, at the end of page 2 of our 5-page program, and we have 15 minutes. So I want to hear from maybe one person. I want to ask, so how did it go for you? How was the session from you? Maybe let's hear from 1 or 2 people. How was this breakout room for you, and what future you invented for yourself? Who wants to share, please? Let me see show of hands and I'll call on you. Okay, everybody wants to share. Okay, Izzy, please.
I was super impressed at the subset that we ended up with. I mean, the room is impressive enough as it is, but the specific people that I ended up with, it looked, Saqib, like you are co-inspiring to cause me to, move up in my performance in getting things done. So it was a great group. We all had clear responses, and we found that our ideas were sort of pushing each other. Like there was that positive feedback loop going on where things that one person would say would fire off another. We didn't have enough time, but we chose to come back because the 10 minutes were over and you guys weren't closing the room. So it was very impressive.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. It was a good characterization of the quality of the conversation. And I am also interested in hearing what actually happened in the conversation, what future you invented for yourself. So who else wants to share? Arsh, please.
Sure. So for the future that I shared with my group was that I would love to do something that I'm deeply, deeply passionate about in the next 5 to 10 years.
And what is that?
Run a coaching institute or education institute that is helping people, allowing them the financial freedom, so whatever means, so they can follow their dreams and pursue, maybe even help them develop what they are passionate about through
I believe you said create
find what they want to do and
did you say create a school? You broke up a little bit,
yeah,
so I didn't hear you very well. Create a school. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you, Arsh.
Yeah, a school education institute, that type of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Who else wants to share? Filippo, what future you invented for yourself?
Well, a future, as we discussed in the group, a future in which the small are empowered to become big.
Mm-hmm.
A small in which we kind of democratize the industry, which is not anymore like the big fish that always win, but is like the faster fish, the think different fish, the fish that wants to innovate and go ahead that wins.
I think that you might want to connect with Sabir, and we'll make the connection that you might want to use his payment system for this global platform that you got going on. So, okay, very good. Who else wants to share? Haris, what future you created for yourself? No, Haris, we cannot hear you. I think that your microphone today is we don't have a good. Okay, maybe we'll come back. No, we cannot hear you. It's very difficult to hear you. Okay. Let's. I'm gonna skip you for now, Haris. Sorry. Invest in a good microphone, perhaps. That's the immediate future creation. Tehseen, what future you created for yourself, my brother?
Yeah, Saqib. Well, I think we had a good conversation, and my industry is one of those industries that actually got immediately affected by this current situation of pandemic. So my situation is that a 3 years ago, if you'd asked me something, my answer would have been totally different. Now, I think I am more worried about a month or 2 months from today than to be worried about 5 years from today, because we are having very drastic changes in cell phone industry. We were all ready to actually see 5G getting implemented, but this COVID has pushed us around so badly that we don't even know when it's going to be fully implemented. A lot of other things that actually our industry was looking forward for were based on that technology, and it's not here yet. So I honestly believe that the communication industry is evolving, and it has a huge room to be improved. I was asking my fellow people in that room that how many of us would have thought 3 years ago that Zoom would be an everyday thing for us. You know, I first time used Zoom in 2018, and I had like, what in the world is this? And somebody told me it was invented back in 2010, and I was like, dude, for 8 years I didn't even knew about it. And then in 19, when pandemic hit, I mean, most of my franchise meetings are on Zoom. Everything every day I'm using Zoom at least 2 hours a day. So who would have known, Saqib? You know, this thing is very unpredictable.
Okay, all right, got it. And yet the moods with which we encounter this unpredictability determines the outcome that we determine for ourselves, right? It's like that big wave that behind me. You can either be crushed by that wave, or you can learn to ride that wave. The change opens opportunity, but if you get scared by the change and don't prepare for it, then we are certainly crushed by the change. Or if we prepare ourselves, we can navigate the change and possibly find opportunities. Okay, thank you.
I'll add to one more thing about your wave and your change. I met somebody yesterday who's actually had an exclusive contract with Bank of America's building here in Charlotte downtown. And the guy was actually he was cleaning the Bank of America's all offices over there. In his own words, his expenditure was $25,000 a month. He's out of business right now because of this, you know.
Yes.
Because 100% of Bank of America went online. So yes, sometimes even if you prepare good enough, that wave will crush you. Just to add that to it.
Well, you need to have a good coach, good mentor. You know, if you're preparing it all by yourself, then the self-surgery, it increases your chances. All right. So thank you, Tasin. Let us, we have 7 more minutes here, 9 more minutes.
Take your time.
And we promise to let you go right on the dot. As we said before, success is a result of good habits and moods of optimism that you build about the future to help you realize your dreams, to help you navigate the future that's coming at us. We have created a program with 5 crown jewel practices that we are now introducing at the Club of Alchemists that will help you prepare. Victoria, would you please introduce the 5 practices, and then we'll take a minute or 2, and Maria will introduce the logistics and the club fee and so on and so forth. And then before we close today, I will share a poem that I wrote, which became the inspiration for the Club of Alchemists. So Victoria, please. And we're going to have to go at it with a little bit speed. I do want to make sure we close on time as promised.
So I will go quickly through the club practices. The first one is the club powwow, and Maria will go through the schedule and the timing more in detail later, but it's once a month. And monthly you get to network, monthly networking and coaching session where you share your life with your fellow members, bring the issues and challenges you are dealing with at the moment, and receive coaching in conversation with Saqib and special guests he brings. So that's the club powwow. And by the way, live means that it's like on Zoom and it's a live, it's not pre-recorded or anything like that. The second practice is MFD, or the mind focus technique, which is a daily meditation practice where you can practice, where you can meditate with us every single day and gain freedom from the tyranny of anxiety, depression, worry, stress, and just to gain inner peace and be more present in your daily life. The third one is, we call it the Shaolin Fit, And this is a program or practice designed to improve your body, to develop a strong, trim, lean, and beautiful body by a specific type of practice called the Iron Shield
Iron
workout.
jacket.
Yeah, Iron Jacket. And yeah, you will strengthen your bones, joints, ligaments in this Shaolin workout. The other one is the philosophy study, which, as the name suggests, you will study philosophy. More specifically, existential philosophy, as well as cybernetics, parapsychology, evolutionary biology, and ontological design from masters such as Heidegger, Oakeshott, Maturana, Flores, Unger, and a lot more. And then
we will start with the work by Dr. Roberto Mangabeira Unger, who was also the teacher of President Obama, and he's been a minister of strategy for Brazil, also a full Howard professor for the last 50 years. He was 29 when he became full Howard professor, and he's now 72. Very important piece of work. We'll start there, and then I will be consulting with my dear friend Bruno and other philosophers that I study with to design the curriculum here. This is going to be an important part of this curriculum to help you open your sensibility and expand your horizons. Okay, let's go next.
The second to last one is a startup forum. So this is for everyone who's interested in creating a startup or is already creating a startup. You can join this weekly Q&A with other business veterans on getting unstuck, developing brilliant new solutions, designing business models, validating ideas, funding readiness, designing sales and marketing funnels, developing product/MVP, and dealing with a myriad of issues that get in the way of launching innovations and building a great business. So this is definitely for
essentially, we will here deal with the career advice, business advice. Something has to do with enterprises, something has to do with the business of creating livelihood and expanding your business. I will be in close conversations with Sabir and other successful entrepreneurs to help people at any level, whether you're launching a personal consulting, you're launching a technology startup. This will be the place where you can come every week and get help to get unstuck in wherever you might be in launching your new business.
Excuse me, it has two different dates there. It said Sunday and then Wednesday.
I think the date is wrong. It's every Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, well, once a week is the timing. We just didn't copy it right. It's every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Yes. And the last one is Metaform. And this is the only one that's not live. This one is pre-recorded and it's a self-paced course. So this is a short and potent self-paced course in self-transformation designed to remove the invisible roadblocks that get in the way of a powerful life and help you build new orientation for success. You can receive live coaching on career, startup, and business matters during the monthly club powwow. So if you decide to take this on, you can join the monthly club powwow and get live coaching or ask any questions and you will receive the answers. Now Maria will take you through the schedule of all of this. Maria?
Thank you, Victoria. On your screens, you can now see the calendar schedule for the Club of Alchemists. We have daily MFT, Mind Focus Technique sessions, morning and evening, 7 days a week. The morning sessions are 7 a.m. Pacific time, and the evening sessions are 9 p.m. Pacific time. The morning session will be followed by Shaolin Fit, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. We have Starter Forum every Wednesday, 1 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. Every Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., we have our philosophy study. And every first Sunday of the month, we have the club powwow, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We will invite all registered members to this calendar, and once you receive an email, add it to your calendar, and it will show up. If you have any struggles or anything, just let me know and I will assist you. We will add you to the Slack community for the Club of Alchemists, where you can actually come together as a community and interact with each other. If you're interested in joining the Club of Alchemists as a full member, it requires an investment of $500 US dollars per month solo membership, or $800 a month duo membership. The yearly membership fee for the Club of Alchemists is $5,000 US dollars a year for solo and $8,000 US dollars a year for duo. The duo membership, it includes co-founders, co-thinkers, couples, committed allies. And in duo membership, both participants, they become full members of the club and they can enjoy all the benefits of the club. Family and friends of the club members are welcome to join as visiting guests, as long as they're accompanied by the member. But they're not full members of the club and they will be excluded from certain privilege. So show of hands, who is interested in knowing more about the club and joining the club? Okay. Everybody then. So we will be following up and you will receive the link to apply for the membership of the club. And in case any of you have any inquiries, you can get in touch with me or Sakib or anybody on the staff.
Okay,
thank
very
you.
good. We will also add you to the Slack channel where we have 24/7 support.
It's 12 o'clock.
And okay, very good. Let's see what else we got to cover here. I think that we have covered all the important points. I want to hear from each of you as you exit this meeting. What is your exit mood? So Victoria, why don't you put the mood chart up? And I just want to hear very quickly what moods we are leaving you with. And after you share your moods, I will share a poem with you and would let you be on your merry way. So Usman, please.
So I feel I feel confident and ambitious.
Confidence and ambition. Thank you.
Yeah.
AZ.
Wonder, awe, and gratitude.
Wonder, awe, and gratitude. Thank you, AZ. Sabir.
Possibility.
Possibility. Lovely. Thank you. Harish.
Curiosity.
Curiosity. And your mic is fixed. Thank you. Abbas.
I'm feeling humble and curious.
Humility and curiosity. Lovely. Thank you, Abbas. Adnan.
I'd say gratitude.
Gratitude. Thank you. Sonia.
My modest gratitude to be here and ambition to accomplish.
Gratitude and ambition.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. Sebastian.
Actually, I'm disappointed. I had thought there was more communication among the members.
Disappointment and resignation. Okay, thank you, Sebastian. Yash.
Curiosity and ambition.
Curiosity and ambition. Okay, thank you, Yash. Arsh.
I feel gratitude and accepted and feeling of confidence.
Confidence and gratitude. Thank you, Arsh. Maria.
Gratitude and wonder.
Gratitude and wonder. Filippo.
Humility and ambition.
What was the first thing you said?
Humility.
Humility and ambition. Lovely. Thank you, Filippo. Tessin.
I would say ambition and wonder, awe.
Ambition and wonder and awe. Thank you, Tessin. Bruno. Bruno, I don't know if you're sharing.
Curiosity and possibility.
Curiosity and possibility. Thank you, Bruno. Nadia, what is your mood as you exit this conversation?
Yeah, confidence and curiosity.
Confidence and curiosity. Thank you, Nadia. Rachel.
Radical hope.
Radical hope. That is a name of a mood that comes from a book by the same name by Jonathan Lear, who wrote about the plight of the native Indians, that once the buffalo disappeared, once the white man killed all the buffalo, the Native Americans had to build a new hope. And it's a gorgeous story about courage. I highly recommend all of you to check out this book called Radical Hope by Jonathan Lear. Thank you, Rachel. Kathy, please.
Humility and possibility on steroids.
Humility and magnanimous possibility. Thank you, Kathy. And Victoria.
I'm in a mood of joy and gratitude.
Joy and gratitude. Okay, very good. Thank you. Please take this off. I want to, as a parting gift, I want to read this poem. I've written this small book of poems called Sakibism. The first rule of Sakibism is that no one can follow Sakibism, only I can follow it. If you're a real human being, you'll have your own Aziism and Sabirism and Brunoism and Sunniism. Invent your own path. Don't follow anyone else's path. We are all lost in the fog. We only can help each other a little bit. We're all lost in the fog, but we are together. The wisdom is knowing that wisdom cannot be known. Wisdom cannot be known. When you know that wisdom cannot be known, you have the wisdom. So that is what my book Sakibism is. This is a poem on page 29 called The Club of Alchemists. The right question is not who is making all this work. The right question is not who is making all this work. The right question is what is making all this work. The right question is not who you are. The right question is what you are. If I say money, there is money. If your head escapes your skull and flies to stars and beyond, it is because your alchemist soul feeds on the nectar of enlightenment. If your head escapes your skull and flies to stars and beyond, it is because your alchemist soul feeds on the nectar of enlightenment. Many times I have this feeling since I have been with you. I cannot describe it. Plow, plow, and plow. So, what is the work of an alchemist? Bring people to new futures, open wormholes, just this kind of stuff. Okay, with that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I sure hope to see you. Some of you are already members of the Club of Alchemists. Some of you are thinking about it. We are going to be following up with all of you, and it would be my honor and pleasure. What Maria also didn't say, if you cannot afford the fee, if you have a financial challenge about the fee, we will give you scholarships. We want you to be with us. However, you can come be with us, okay? All right. Thank you all. Have a lovely, lovely weekend, and what a pleasure. I will hang out here for the next 10 or 15 minutes if anybody wants to talk. Otherwise, till the next time we see each other.
Yes, sir.